Hey everybody, it's Jay Morrison and welcome to another episode, part 2 or episode 2 of Ask Jay. And today I'm in East Orange, New Jersey. I got my protege slash partner slash I don't know what, Benedict, aka Dusty McGirt behind the camera. Benedict, say hi.
Far from Dusty, but I got you.
All right. So we're here in front of a property in East Orange that my company is going to be acquiring for an asset management client of ours. I'm sitting on this car just because I think it's a cool aesthetic and it'll get your attention. Works for me. And so a lot of people always ask me, we're going to get to Ask Jay, but I always hear people inquiring about, do I still do real estate? Am I out in the field? You know, what is that day-to-day like? And I don't do real estate, but I do, because my company does. Jay Morrison Real Estate Partners, which is my national consulting, investment, and asset management firm. They do all the heavy lifting. Benedict's part of my Jay Morrison Real Estate Partners. Brandon Wigley, Tosin Adewale, Renikia Williams, Brzezinski, Boyd, and several other real estate partners from around the country. They are all part of my team, in which we do consulting, coaching, again, investing, and asset management. So anyway, Benedict, let's go to our first Ask Jay question.
All right, our first question is from @TMarie180. Her question is it worth it to get a real estate license and become an agent? Working the field a little bit before getting into investing. This is coming from someone who isn't quite sure which path to dive into.
All right, Benedict, why don't you come a little closer so I don't got to yell so loud. Great. So, TMarie180, great question. It's all about your particular strategy. I have a great video on real estate investor versus realtor on my YouTube channel. So make sure you guys subscribe and like the channel, but also search down and you'll see a video called real estate investor versus realtor. And in that, understand that becoming a realtor, you will become very knowledgeable of the industry. You'll get a lot of vocabulary. You'll learn a lot of verbiage and terms, and you will position yourself to be able to work for a broker as an agent and get commissions from listing or helping a buyer contract properties, right? Purchase properties. Now, as an investor, though, it depends, T. Marie. I don't know your situation. I don't know your credit. I don't know what kind of income you have. I don't know what your risk or tolerance for risk, your threshold is. But for me, I got in as an investor first, then worked in the mortgage industry, a little bit of both at the same time, and then I became a realtor after to get extra commissions. So if you just want to gain knowledge, if you want to gain knowledge from being an investor, December 1st, the enrollment for the Jay Morrison Academy opens, and we'll teach you how to be an investor. But if you want to just learn from a broad perspective as a realtor, you can go to a licensed or licensing real estate school. So it all depends, T. Marie, on what your specific strategy is. I say don't shy away from being an investor. As I mentioned yesterday, start off with one property, a multifamily, as an owner-occupied purchaser. Get used to owning a house. See what that feeling is like. Like right here, this is a 2-family with a bonus apartment. We're going to renovate this. Well, I'm not, but my team is. Our company's going to acquire it. We're going to renovate it, and then we're going to sell it with some incentives to a home buyer who can gain rental income and equity plus tax benefits owning the property. So there's nothing wrong with starting off as an investor or doing a little bit of both, depending on your strategy and what situation that you're bringing to the table.
All right, our next question is for Marqueen Robinson. What was your best advice when you were down and out? What was your inner motivation that keeps you doing what you do?
Oh, that was a great question, Marqueen. So I've been down and out several times, as we know. So most of you who follow me know that, I grew up, in poverty, like literally below the poverty line. I dropped out of high school at 16. I went to prison at 18, went back to prison again at 20, came home on a parole program, hustled in the streets for 10 years, made millions of dollars, went bankrupt, bounced back, made more millions. So I've been through the ringer. And I think what kept me motivated all that time was understanding that losing is not an option. I told Chris Darden, one of my proteges who runs my academy, my COO, I said, Chris, you know what? I said, I really have an internal I will not lose attitude. I have no quit. So for me, I could smile at any adversity because no matter if it's me facing 3 years of life in prison or 15 years in prison or going bankrupt or losing out on a house or a deal not going bad or I got investors I got to pay back, or whatever it is that has happened throughout my career and that will happen moving forward in my life. Life's not perfect. Being an entrepreneur is hard. It's not easy. But no matter what I go through, I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to quit, so therefore I'm not going to lose. You only lose when you stop. That's when you fail, when you stop and when you give up. So if I hit a wall, I shake it off and I try another angle, or I run through the wall, or I go over the wall, or I might dig under the wall. But no matter what, Jay Morrison has no quit. I will not lose. And that's eternalized in my soul and my spirit. So I just keep in mind that I'm doing it for myself, for my family, and my community, and I can't let up.
Next question is from @SnoopBaby. I signed up to take a 3-day class with Tom Morrell. Was it a good idea?
Than Merrill,
I apologize. Was
No
it
problem.
a good idea? And how do you guys differ?
Well, I never went to a Than Merrill course or class to really tell you, where we differ. I just know that Jay Morrison's Jay Morrison, and Jay Morrison's story and journey is very unique to Jay Morrison. So I don't know what Than's journey's been like. I don't know how he started, where he got started, and really what he's done. He's not someone I follow, but I know he is in Fortune Builders, is a prominent education company in the industry. But for me, I come from the bottom and I've grinded my way up, and I have done this hands-on at a very young age with a lot of adversity and had success. And I really care. I'm not saying Than or anyone else doesn't, but I know that I really, really care about the community and the people that I serve. And so in my courses, and I know this in a lot of other courses, what differs my courses or my teaching or my education from other people is that for me, there's no, I'm going to give you 3 days and then I have a plan to upsell you all this information. For me, I try to peel back the curtain and give you all of what I know and all of what I have. And so for me, it's about you really taking this back home, implement it into your life, and helping your family build a legacy. So for my teaching, my coaching, my mentorship, I'm very hands-on. I've talked to my students every other Wednesday on our mentorship calls. And I haven't missed one mentorship call. Myself, the mogul, the CEO, the celebrity real estate developer, realtor, whatever, I haven't missed one mentorship call in 2 years with my students. And there's times we've had conferences with my students, and I allow them to come up to my hotel suite, or we hang out and have food. So I know that Than is doing that kind of things with his students or his clients, but for me, I try to be as engageable and as personable as possible with everyone within my audience or constituency.
The next question is @Vibing. Had a foreclosure, would like to acquire a multi-unit property, have no money down, but a good job. What would be the simplest route?
Well, the first thing is, and I'm assuming they're saying they have a foreclosure opportunity to purchase, so you got to put yourself in position to be able to buy that house. I don't know that you can compete going in with an FHA mortgage or going in with a conventional mortgage. So you may want to get a hard money loan if you don't have big bucks to put down and buy the house cash. So you may need private financing or a partner, unless there's a way that you can get qualified by a mortgage company that will work with that foreclosure situation and a bank that will accept you doing mortgage financing, which usually isn't the case. Usually you're going to need a cash deal or a cash deal backed by private financing. So that's one thing you want to look into is, can you qualify with a hard money lender to buy that foreclosure? But you certainly want to have the expertise of being able to evaluate that deal and even knowing if that property makes sense for you and if it is a good buy. So I don't know if you have that knowledge yet, but don't rush into the buy. Make sure you've done all your due diligence and you understand the numbers make sense.
Last question, but not least.
What's
As
up?
Godfather of print, did you ever want to go to college or go back to get a degree?
I've thought about it. I thought about going to college, and maybe I will. I don't know. My time's kind of tight, but I always wanted to, kind of for the sake of doing it. And I know there's knowledge there. There's definitely things that I can learn and help formalize and grow by going to college and getting a degree. I think it'd be just something great to have on my wall or a great accomplishment. And, I see value there. So I have thought about it, but it hasn't necessarily been on my priority list in regards to, I got to get to college, because honestly, every day that I'm working and building businesses and doing social work and doing community work, I'm learning. I'm learning every day, and I invest a lot into my own education. The same way that I offer consulting and give coaching, I spend a lot of money on coaches and consulting myself. I spent $8 grand, $10 grand for 2 days of consulting and coaching, so I can learn more about the things that I need to be more successful and to grow as an entrepreneur and a businessman. So I don't think it's always college is what you need, but you need education. And so we as Americans, as people in general, especially in the African American community, we mix up education for college, when education is just knowing more and having a specified skill in any area. So that area could be cars and mechanics, it could be being a contractor, electrician, a plumber. That knowledge can be learning how to be a realtor or be a real estate investor or anything in between. So no matter what, I say that yes, we all should get education. And I think about always accelerating and self-developing and getting more of an education. But I don't know that college is necessarily a priority on my list, but it'd be kind of cool to have. So that answers all 5 questions for today. Ask Jay. I want to tell you guys. So I'm looking forward to like episode 20 because I know this is going to evolve. We're already talking about a new intro. I also, as opposed to just answering your 5 questions, I want to do a daily minority report. I want to do a motivational tip of the day. I want to make it more like an actual show. So you guys, this show, to be transparent and really honest with you, this show is about me trying to centralize all the information, all the passions that I have. We know that I know real estate. We know that I know wealth building. And I want to give you that. I try my best to give you guys all that, from credit to self-development, the 5 new courses we're offering in the J. Morrison Academy, realtor training. I want to give you guys all those things, but we also know I'm very passionate about equal rights and human rights and what's happening in the African American community. And I'm also passionate about young people and their education and millennials. So there's a lot that I have inside me, burning inside of me, and I don't want to drive you in all these different places. So I want the Ask Jay platform to be about, one, answering your questions and teaching you on a daily basis, and you guys getting just to see me just in raw in the flesh. But I also want to be a platform where I can show you guys that it's not always so serious. I do have fun, and we do let loose, but we also are serious about our business and about growing and building legacy. So, this for me, I want to turn this Ask Jay platform over the next 20 to 100 episodes into something more formalized, where we're giving you guys, daily information, answering your questions, but also allowing you to see my philosophies and my opinions and my contentions on things that are going on around the world and that are affecting us as a community. So just look forward to the Ask Jay show growing. Again, I think it's something. My team brought this idea to me. Thanks, Tosin, Brandon, Greg, Hutton. You guys are great. In the back office, they said, Jay, we have an idea for you. Try this Ask Jay show platform. And I liked it, so we're doing it. We thought about it, last week, 2 weeks ago, and we're already getting to work. So it's not perfect. It's gonna evolve and transform. And I want you guys to take that away from it. You don't got to start off perfect. Just start. Just do something. Most of you stay in analysis paralysis. Well, it's not pretty enough, or I don't like the fonts, or how am I going to pull it off? Like Benedict didn't even know that he was going to be filming today, but I made him film. So this weekend is going to be my daughter. I'm going to be my daughter this weekend. She's going to be filming me this weekend. But it's always about getting it done and making sure that as I live life, I leave a legacy and I'm empowering other people. And I believe that this show is going to be a great platform for me to do so. So anyway, we're about to go into the property, talk about how we're going to get this deal done. Hopefully it's something that we're actually going to film for another web series that I'm working on. And we're going to film the rehab of this. You guys can see that it's real, since, I've seen a couple comments about that. But, I'm 100. And part 2, episode 2 of the Ask Jay show is over. Part 3 tomorrow. Every single day, ask your questions to hashtag AskJay. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this video, and share. One love. Peace.